All right, we will call the meeting to order for the Skokie Public Library Annual Board Meeting, Wednesday, May 14th, 2025, beginning approximately 8:11 p.m. Susie, any comments from observers?
No.
All right. Then we'll move right on to election of officers. So what we'll do is I'll open the floor to nominations for president. When those are all in, we'll close and we'll vote on that. Then we'll open for vice president, same thing, and then on to secretary, and then we'll get to the other agenda items. That being said, let me open for nominations for president. Who would like to nominate someone or nominate themselves? President. Shabna.
I like to nominate myself.
Shabna nominates herself. Anyone second?
Second. Why, thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Any other nominations? And I apologize for you new guys. The bylaws put the election in right after the official election, the public election. So
Once again, 5 hours with Richard.
I explained it, yeah.
all right. Any other nominations for president? Hearing none. All in favor of Shabna as president, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have to do individual vote, Susie? Here? It's not money, but it's still valuable, so we'll do it individually. Michelle.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Elisa.
Yes.
Shabna.
Yeah. Yes.
Leah.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We'll now do a motion for vice president. Shabna's former position. Open to nominations for vice president.
I nominate myself.
Nominate yourself.
Yep.
Very good. Second?
Second.
Other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nomination for vice president. So motion to elect Michelle for vice president. We'll start over this side. Shabna?
Yes.
Ella?
Yes.
Leah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
I vote yes. Michelle?
Yes.
That's unanimous as well. Open for motions to nominations for secretary.
I have really enjoyed being secretary, so I would like to nominate myself if
There you
you
go.
have me.
Anyone second?
Second.
There you go. Any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, we'll close the nomination for secretary. All in favor of Mary, we vote individually. Shabna?
Yes.
Ella?
Yes.
Leah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Yes. Mary?
Yes.
Yes. There you go. Unanimous. The board, we will start next week. Next month?
Next month.
Next month,
Yeah.
next meeting. All right, as opposed to we could switch seats.
No, yeah. I mean, you can.
All right.
We'll meet.
Oh, okay.
Another 5 hours.
Congratulations to all. Next item on the agenda, approval of the 26-27 board meeting calendar. Richard, anything you want to point out? Page 4 on your agenda. Those are the dates. A couple are moved from the 2nd to the 3rd or for other reasons.
Just the one on July 15, 2026. So there may be other personal scheduling conflicts or other holidays that you're aware of. So hopefully you're able to check your own calendars and. So
Right. And we understand some board members might not make every
Sure.
I just wanted to verify one thing. Is the library open or closed on Veterans Day?
We're open.
You're open. Okay, because one of the November 11th is on Veterans Day. That's why I was asking.
If the board would like to not have it on that day, that's also, that's a board decision, but we're open.
I'm fine, but I didn't know if other people.
Right, also just clear, we're talking about 26, 27 here, not 25, 26. That was approved last.
It's crazy to think.
It's hard.
Oh, boy.
there no other questions, can I have a motion to approve the board meeting calendar for 26, 27?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, consensus vote?
Aye.
All right, that passes unanimously. On to page 6, approval of revised ethics statement for public library trustees. Richard?
Yeah, as I explained in my memo, we have a number of ethics-based policies that the board has looked at over the years. One is the American Library, the ALA Code of Ethics, American Library Association Code of Ethics, and that the board already approved in December 2024, so that's not what's before you. We also have an ethics statement related to gift bans and inappropriate campaigning and political activity, and that was already looked at and approved recently by the board as well. So this particular policy is related to the ethics statement for public library trustees that the division United for Libraries, which is the trustee division of the American Library Association, has put out as an official statement. And it's common for public libraries across the country to adopt this statement for its board specifically. It doesn't speak to the staff and the administrators, and that's kind of covered by the ALA Code of Ethics and the other ethics policy. So if you have a question, this is another policy that we haven't really revisited in quite a while, so we just wanted to make sure that there was an updated statement in alignment with what's posted on the United for Libraries website. So there were no revisions made from that official statement. It's just kind of straight from the
I just wanted to clarify that the campaigning, that's just part of the being nonpartisan, that we shouldn't be supporting any candidates or any political parties, that sort of thing.
Aaron's here. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, so under state law, there are restrictions on how elected officials conduct themselves with regard to, there are prohibited political activities for library employees, elected officials. The main bottom line is that library resources should not be used in support of a candidate for office or a referendum question. So oftentimes that comes up even more on the employee side because they kind of have the library resources at their fingertips on a daily basis, but also officials shouldn't be renting a library meeting room to have a campaign event. So there are a lot of different examples, but as Richard said, the library has policies, a little group of policies on ethics, including these prohibited political activities.
Yeah.
And there's a laundry list of items that are kind of the prohibited activities. Yeah.
So just if we are working in our official capacity or on the premises, we should be aware that it should not be political.
And it's hard. I mean, you guys have to wear so many hats. You're individuals, you're library trustees, you're patrons of the library. So if you're, in an individual capacity going out and leafleting for someone or getting signatures, just make sure that you're at least making as clear a distinction as you can and not doing it on library property, and then also not saying, hi, I'm a library trustee, will you sign this for my friend who wants to be a village trustee?
It's keeping the two separate.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for example, the last election, there were 3 candidates for mayor. My wife and I supported one of the candidates, contributed to that candidate's campaign, had a lawn sign out, but I never said Gene Griffin, library trustee. I didn't post that on my social media, so that was all okay, because I was just doing it personal.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and I think that's it's like I said, it's hard, and we get questions about this all the time, like, I'm always a trustee, it's a nice little thing to do. But, you can make those distinctions pretty clearly, and mostly it's refraining from, exercising your, muscle as a trustee to the extent you have any, or referencing your position when you're doing political activities.
And in that case, obviously, there was no use of the library's resources, so,
Right.
yeah.
It was only at home.
Right.
I have another question.
Yep.
And I apologize if this, I don't know. Trustees must respect the confidential nature of library business. So from my understanding, except for what's in closed meetings, everything is open to the public from what we discussed. So is this referring to just what's discussed in closed meetings? Is there other information that we're gonna know that's not open to the public? I think that's where I'm confused.
I think it mostly covers closed sessions. I can't think of anything in particular that would expand beyond that, but Erin, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, I think closed session is a good, the exemptions in the open meetings act, we'll talk about it a little bit, are a good framework for what might be confidential. So also if Richard, for example, circulated an email before closed session saying, well, because then there's FOIA too. But yeah, that's probably a good framework, is to think what we talked about in a closed session stays between the library board members.
Maybe I can add one more thing that comes to mind. If there's a legal matter and I'm sharing information with the board and I'm CCing our attorney, it's like protected by the legal
Yes,
client
privilege.
attorney privilege, then that's obviously confidential as well. So, but I will always put that at the header of the email to make it clear.
And a lot of this ties to the open meeting act stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard
Oh, yeah,
it.
that was like 3.5 hours.
That's a fault of it, right?
Yeah. Other questions about the ethics policy? Now can I have a motion to approve the revised ethics statement for public library trustees as presented?
So
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's approved. Page 10, we don't have to vote on this, it's just to review board bylaws, Richard.
As I mentioned here, the board bylaws, I believe, are acceptable and fine without any changes. My understanding is that the library boards can take different approaches on how much they want to put into their bylaws and how much detail they want to put in. Our board bylaws, there's nothing wrong with them at face value. There are some things that I listed here that I think it wouldn't hurt to put in our bylaws just for clarity's sake. And if the board would like me to fold these into a revision, I can prepare that for the next meeting for your consideration. And then the board, because of the bylaws, it states that the board can't approve the bylaws on first review. So after a June review, then if the approval would come in July, if you would like me to proceed with this. But I welcome any thoughts that the board has about any of these bullet points or any other item, any other aspects of the current bylaws that you would like to have looked at or revised. It's really a board decision.
I mean, we covered a lot of this in our sessions
Yeah.
that wasn't in the bylaw, so I have no problem adding it.
Any other comments or things you want looked at in the future?
I think, especially since I am like secretary, when I look at how the role is defined in here versus maybe some of the practices that we do, you know, like for example, I am not the person posting the meeting notices on our website, like, you know, that is handled by the library administration. So I think it might be better to actually go through some of the roles and make sure that those are accurate. I think that area should be cleaned up.
I agree.
So that would be one recommendation that I would have. Yeah.
Other suggestions, other things you want to look at going down the road? Hearing none, all right, then let's move on. We don't need to vote to approve it, as they say. So next up is training from our attorney. Erin, let's switch seats so people can see you better.
I said, okay.
I think we're gonna cut off the streaming, for this. Is that all right to do? Because it doesn't violate open meeting act to stop the live streaming of
The
this part?
library never has to stream things, so no, it's
No, not
okay.